So, well, we don't need the schedule of events. There we go. Okay, so we have, so Think Safe. This is the society's new safety motto that we have, that we've established. I think we came up with this last year during the midst of COVID, and just, we want to make sure that we are putting that safety first, especially when it comes to bike MS. And so just some quick little practices is, if you're not talking, if you'll just go ahead and make sure you are on mute, which I think everyone is. So I do appreciate that. And then, of course, we did a quick introduction. Zoe, like we said, she's our specialist out of Oklahoma office. And then myself, I'm out of our West Texas office, but I help quite a bit with our fearless leader, Cindy, who is not able to be with us this evening. And so we're going to just keep on trucking along. And so I do appreciate y'all bearing with me when we miss our fearless leader, Cindy, being with us. So with that, just to kind of go over the agenda. So we're going to kind of look at that healthy and safety protocols, event schedule for the weekend, our event experience, those People Choice Awards. I don't know if y'all have maybe a different name that y'all have used in the past. And so then the routes, also going over routes and the site maps, and then just showing y'all that top fundraiser jersey if you haven't seen it yet, and then some information on final packet pickups, and then hopefully have some time for some questions. So with that, as we all know, COVID has heightened back up quite a bit. And so through this process, the society has been really looking at what those protocols are, what we need to make sure that we are instilling in our events to make sure that these are the safest events that we can possibly have, and that we aren't the ones spreading COVID. And so with that, some of those protocols that we've had have come back, and that one of those, of course, the top one is our face coverings. So masks are required for all attendees of the society gatherings, both indoors and outdoors, regardless of vaccination status. But of course, if you're eating, drinking, or doing a physical activity, as in riding a bicycle, you of course do not have to have the mask on. But during the other times, you will need the face covering. We will have a screening, and I have another slide that kind of goes a little bit more into that here in a minute. Just kind of still trying to practice that physical distancing, maintaining clean spaces, hand washing, and just communication of education and expectations. We really want to have a safe gathering, and so, yes, that starts with the staff, but also the volunteers and the participants. So kind of going over each one of these, of course, we do have the lovely mask. And if you don't have a mask, we will have, the N95 mask and other mask available. And then, so as far as the health screening for anybody, I know the Kramers are probably familiar because you had to do one for TOC. If you've been to any other events, you have to, about 2 or 3 days before the ride, you will be sent an email with you to go and take this pre-screening. And it's just, these are the questions that are on there, or statements just saying that you do understand that wearing a mask is required. You agree to wear a mask at all times. You haven't experienced any of the symptoms of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours or been exposed, and that you will assume all risk associated with attending this event. So with that, of course, we talked about that sanitation. So we have the sanitation station, as we like to call it. So that the Bike MS staff, volunteers, we're going to be routinely cleaning surfaces, sanitizing. Even at the rest stop, things are going to look a little different. Everything's going to be pre-packaged instead of maybe, if you have, I don't know what snacks you guys have maybe had in the past at the rest stops, instead of maybe having goldfish in a cup or peanuts or something, they're all it should all individually be packaged for you just to be able to grab and go. It's going to be whole fruit. None of the fruit's going to be cut up. So you only want half of a banana, it's okay. Eat half a banana and then throw it in the trash. So it's all good. But also just making sure to do your part and ensuring a hand washing, the good old hand washing and sanitation. And so there will be the hand washing stations throughout, I know at the rest stops, but also at the start and overnight and finish lines. So with before we go on to the next thing, is there any questions pertaining to any of this protocols?
I do have a question, Lindy. You said that everyone will be sent this email prior, like 3 days prior to the event.
Yes.
I'm speaking from personal experience because I know my team doesn't always read those emails. How are we ensuring that those are going to be? Is there like a red receipt or something like that, or how can we make sure? I mean, obviously, I'm going to let my team know, hey guys, this email's coming. Make sure you guys read it and accept the conditions. So, is there going to be like other options for people that aren't checking their email?
So one of the, so I know in the past that some of, like we actually had like a health screening check-in point, but I know that we're not doing that this year. So we are getting a little bit of clarification on how we are going to go about that people are, that they have completed and they've agreed to all of this. So I will, once I know something, I will keep you updated on that. Zoe, can you make note of that for me too? I appreciate that. So
sorry, I'm not trying to be difficult, but I
no. I
totally know my people.
No, and I understand, and it should come from bikems.org, because even like all of the staff, we received one. I received the email before the West Texas ride back during the summer. I received one before I went to TOC as a staff member. So so I do know. So it is one of those things, like once I see it, I can also make sure that I send out an email to all of the team captains and just say, hey, let your team members know, make sure that you have gone and checked this. But we will hopefully have a little bit more guidelines on what that will look like for event weekend and verifying. Because most of the time you're going to get, it's going to give you a green check mark once you've agreed to everything, and you just show the green check mark and you're good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Anything else on the protocols?
Okay.
I saw in the chat about the NetGator. We don't have. I feel like those are okay. Zoe, do you remember? Yeah. So, and as for the masks that were on the picture, those were ones that Primal made. So I don't believe that we will have any for sale there. But you can maybe check the primal.com website and see if they have any still available. So, okay. Well, and if you do have any other questions, like again, we'll have some more time for question and answers at the end. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Zoe really quick to kind of talk about some BikeMS cycling safety.
Yes, so it is even more of, it's a priority now more than ever, just so that we don't overcapacitate the hospitals with the current things. We want to make sure that you're not getting injured. So some things to definitely make sure of are obeying all of the traffic signs and signals and all of the traffic laws. Don't just follow the leader We will have police support and flaggers at left turns to help you cross busy streets safely. But make sure you're staying to the right. You're looking and you're signaling with your hands when you are turning, you know, calling out and signaling. If you're going around someone, if you're slowing or stopping, if there's a car behind you, or if you're in front of some people and you want to point out that there's some gravel or a pothole, something for them to avoid. And then make sure you're not wearing any headphones and you're not grouping with more than 2 people abreast. Lastly, I will just add, like, make sure you're being careful of your front wheel and how close you are to the other cyclist around you. We wouldn't want you to wash out for an accident like that. So. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zoe. Stephen, do you want to add anything to safety that we maybe missed? Sorry, you're up on camera, so you're the one I'm calling on.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I've actually, in our experience with other rides and things, our San Antonio community is pretty good about safety and calling things out. And we're actually kind of surprised when we go to other places and they don't do it.
No, and I do agree. There are things that sometimes that we have very much instilled in, especially South Central area events, that things are a little bit different. So, also, watch out for deer. That's my one recommendation. The one year I've been there, a deer apparently tried to go in front of a cyclist and it didn't end well. So that's all I remember. So do know to watch out for the deer. So, all right. So with that, let me go to my next slide. So of course, we're going to still have the same route support that we've had in the past. We're going to have those rest stops every 10 to 12 miles. The bike mechanics will be at the start along the route. I believe we should have a bike mechanic or 2 also at the expo. I'm just waiting. I'm making the assumption Raymond is not on the call. I didn't see your list, but that doesn't mean he's not. But and so I'm going to touch base with Raymond, who has been graciously helping from the committee with making sure that we have all of our bike shops on board. And so we should have those bike mechanics at the expo, and then we'll kind of, but we will have them at the start, at the overnight, and as well as on the route. So we'll also have the ride marshals, and they're just there for our safety. If they see you with the earbuds in, they're going to tell you to take out your headphones. They're going to, if you're riding more than 2 abreast, they should be telling you, hey, we need to break down the groups. And so, but that's what they're there for, is just to help keep you and everybody else safe. We also have the ride communication and the medics that will be, so we will have bike medics that are out there, as well as the ambulance. And then also we will have, of course, those SAGs for if your legs just get a little too tired or they're just done, and it's okay. Don't feel like you have to be a hero. So we are here for those living with MS, and that's what we're doing. We're here to support them. And so do what you can, but we will have those SAGs that are available out on the route as well. And all right, so packing list. So just kind of go over a couple of those things. The mandatory things, of course, make sure you have your helmet, your rider bib, your bike number, your ID is always good to have, as well as your mask. So, and then just some of the other things that are highly recommended: your comfortable cycling gear, shorts, jerseys, socks, gloves, sunglasses, because I know it's going to be bright and sunny, I looked at the weather today and it's showing a high of 89. It went down a degree. It was 90 yesterday when I looked. So, but also water bottles, sunscreen, health insurance, your health insurance. Hopefully you don't need that, but just in case. So. Okay, so schedule of events, and I'm actually going to switch to the one that is online. So this is also on the website. If you go to the website and you go to ride details, the first little box pull down menu, it says schedule of events, and then there will be a link for you to click on that. And so this it's a little bit bigger and easier to read. So just to kind of so we will have our final packet pickup, and I'll go over the additional packet pickups here in a minute. But so we'll have the expo and that final packet pickup that will be on Friday at the Hilton Garden Inn at the Rim. So this is a new location compared to where we've been in the past at the Drury, I believe. Okay, Steve's nodding for me, so thank you. So then Saturday morning, our start time, so breakfast will start between 6 and 7:30. We'll have coffee and some other items, and I'll kind of go over what the food's going to be for the weekend here in a minute. And then at 7:30, we will have an I Ride with MS photo. We'll have everybody who lives with MS gather around the wrapped vehicle that we have and take a group photo there. And then we'll start the lineup around 7:30. And I'll also, the next slide, I think, talks about what that lineup will look like for day one. Lunch will be in Seguin, which is sponsored by HEB and Boar's Head. And HEB is going to be making our sandwiches. And so we're super excited about that. But there will be several options that will be at the lunch. And then as you finish up at the Como County Fairgrounds, we will have the showers, bike shop, bike compound. We'll have a certificate for day one. Vote for your favorite rest stop. And so then as you can kind of see, we'll have the music, shuttle service, finish line. The route closes at 6, and then lights out at 9. And so also one of the things here in a second is, so if you were planning on camping on the county fairgrounds, that has changed, and there is a new location about a mile away, and the shuttles to the hotel will also take you to that campsite. We are not allowed to camp at the fairgrounds any longer. And that means whether it's in a team tent or in a tent that you pitch up where we normally do. So I know the Boy Scouts normally have camped with us, and so we've let them know. And so there is a camp, and so I will talk about that here. So of course, the main thing I know everybody wants to know at the Team Village is when the beer garden is open, right? So that will be from noon to 6 on Saturday. And then at 6 o'clock, we will do some team awards, which we'll also talk about here in a bit. And so then we start all over on Sunday, and we'll have breakfast from 5:30 to 7:30. We'll start lining up from 7 to 7:30 for the start. We'll depart by 7:30. And this is our lineup for day 2. And it's kind of similar. Team America Wounded Warriors is also this. They start us out on day 1 as well. And then we'll finish again, the music, showers, bike compound, all of that good stuff. And of course, the beer garden will be from noon to 4, and the route closes at 4. Any questions on this? I know that was a lot, and I just read it, so. Okay. And again, if you do have some questions, you can put them in the chat. I know Zoe's trying to answer those as they come in. If there's not something, we'll bring them up here at the end as well. So with that, we will go back to my others. Here we go. Oh, okay. So, and this will be on your rider bibs, I believe, but the emergency phone number for the riders, 346-303-1268. So, okay. So, event weekend food, just to kind of, so breakfast, both. So on Saturday, we're going to have coffee from Starbucks. We'll have the fruit. We do have some tacos, some breakfast tacos, but then we'll also have kind of just some packaged snacks like the little Belvita breakfast biscuits, pasty, all that stuff. So if you don't want a taco, then we will also have those. The lunch is the sandwiches. Your options are turkey and cheese sandwiches on the 12 grain bread with lettuce and tomato. Again, y'all can read. I will let y'all, if you can see the presentation. And I believe most of this stuff is also going to be added to the website as well of what the food options are. So the breakfast on Saturday is, or on Sunday will be pretty much the same as it is on Sunday. We don't have Whataburger this year. I am sorry. Their focus has been on other things dealing with COVID, I believe. And so we weren't able to get that support this year, but hopefully they'll be back in 22. And so, but then for the finish line meal, as well as for Sunday, we will be having the barbecue options that are available. And then there are, of course, our vegetarian options of baked potatoes and salad. All right. So as we kind of talked up really quick, that shoot line is going to be from 7:30 to 8, opening ceremony. And the opening ceremony is going to be a little bit different than what it's been in the past. It's going to be more of a rolling start. So so we'll kind of go out in the waves, but we're not going to have the big normal ceremony that we've had on Saturday morning. So, and then of course the I Ride with the Mess photo. So as far as day one's shoot, we will have Team America Wounded Warriors, and then our amazing presenting sponsor, Valero. Their team will be the second one. And then the top 10 teams as of next Wednesday, September 29th, will follow behind Valero. So we will announce that as we get a little bit closer of where those teams are, and that will include that match in that total as well. So, and okay, so Saturday shuttles. So I have received several emails this week about possible people who haven't missed the deadline for the shuttle. If those are some of your team members or Miss Eileen, you will email me. I have to know by Friday at noon if you need a shuttle. So let your team members know. That way we have time to make sure that we have enough shuttles and bus drivers and all of that good stuff. Because I know the main one that kind of fills up the fastest is the one on Saturday morning from New Braunfels. And so we want to make sure that we have adequate drivers and trucks to transport bikes. So, and I believe the very last slide will have my email address, but also Zoe, do you mind shooting that into the text as well? So we do have a couple of shuttle options. We have the one from the host hotel to the start line. We have from the county fairgrounds to back to the start line as well on Saturday morning. And then that afternoon, of course, we'll have the shuttles that are to and from the hotels, but it also will go to the camping site as well. So as I mentioned, the campgrounds are about a mile away. And so that will be one of the stops on that transportation. And then of course, Sunday we'll have the lodging transportation back to the county fairgrounds, and then we will have the 2 shuttles at noon and 4 that will depart from the fairgrounds back to Rolling Oaks Mall. So any of those, I'm not as worried about the shuttles to and from the hotels. It's more the ones on Saturday morning and Sunday afternoon that we need to make sure that we have names on the list. So a couple of different updates as far as event experience that we won't have this year, just due to some of our restrictions with COVID. So sadly, massages are not going to be available this year. And that even means for those in we know a lot of times our teams will bring in their personal massage therapist. And so those are actually not able to happen as well. So there won't be any massage therapists this year at the ride, just due to the pandemic. We will have a certificate instead of medals. Medals is one of those things that we had to cut this year across all of our rides. And so, but rumor is they will be back in 22. So now I do believe there is like a Club 100 medal that has for San Antonio. Sorry, maybe that was supposed to be a surprise. I remember they were ordered, so I'll double check on that. Don't hold me to that. And then also we will have a Century. So if you do the Century option on day 1, we will have a Century patch and a sticker that you can put on your rider bib. That will be available at the finish line or at the overnight. And then again, as I mentioned, no camping at the fairgrounds, but we do have an option, and we're working on putting a link because you will need to go and register to reserve a spot to camp. And so that link will hopefully be on the website. And then once it's updated, I'll also make sure to send out an email, hopefully by the first part of next week, of just everything that needs to know for event week. Okay. So our People Choice Awards, and there might be some new ones. We're kind of trying to be creative, think outside the box. Some of these, it might not be any new ones. I'm kind of new to the little awards part. So we will have a best team tent area. We're going to, of course, do the best jersey contest, but that also means the most spirited team contest. We'll kind of put those hand in hand. We are going to also have a rookie rider of the year that we're going to recognize. Just that person that has really stood out. And if you have any recommendations, please feel free to send those names to us. And then send those names to Zoe for sure, because she works with our rookies. And then best rest stops. So when you get to the finish line on day 1, there will be an area for you to vote for your favorite rest stop. So just remember that. So be watching. Okay, so not much. So as far as the routes go, there is one small change, I believe, from 2019, and it's just whenever we are headed out of San Antonio from the mall, we take a turn before we did in the past. So I'm not exactly sure where it's at, but it's just a small little thing. Other than that, all the routes are pretty much the same as what they've been in the past. So there is the map on the website. You can also go under ride details. It should have the link to the Map My Ride or the GPS link. And so you can pull that up and see. You should be able to do it without having to pay for the app. Hopefully you can do that without having to pay for the app. But there is that option on there, but there's also, I think, a different map version that's also on the website. So day 1, we have the traditional route of the 73 1 miles, but then we also have that Century route of 102.2 miles, because that sounds like fun for me. I mean, I could maybe do the 0.2. So I have a lot of respect for you guys and gals on your bikes. Oh. And so then day 2, we do still have our shorter route option of 38.4 miles. And then we also have the traditional route of the 61.3 miles, so a little bit longer. So if you want to break up your mileage and do 70 on the first, 70 something on first day, and then 61, or however, I mean, you could be one that wants to do the century and then turn around and do 61. So, any questions on the route? I know I'm going through this, or any questions altogether? Okay, everybody's quiet. So, all right. So, as far as the start line map, and of course, I am very new to this. So, if y'all have questions, I will try to answer any questions y'all have, but I can't promise that I will have them. So, as you can see, it looks like coming into the mall, you will have your typical vehicle entry going around. This will be the event parking here off of Nacogdoches Road is what it kind of looks like. And then we'll have, so there will be some area that is, I know, gated off for us for that morning. So, and then for the actual site map, here's a and I know this might be a little small. These should be on the website. If not, they should be on there soon. So we'll have the chute lining up down the route, or down the little road that everybody drives around on the mall. And then we'll have, of course, the VIP parking and the ADA parking. And then we'll have the breakfast, the portalets. There will be the luggage truck is going to be over here by the VIP parking. And then we have the hydration station and volunteer check-in. The first aids here, and then we also have an info area. And then this out here is where your bike mechanics are going to be. Sorry, that was my husband sleeping. So any questions kind of about the start line? I feel like it's pretty similar to what we did in 2019. If you were here in 2019, I know it's really small, probably on the screen. So, all right, we will. The bike compound, so we will have security that will be there on Friday night at the mall starting at 4 p.m. And so, because I know like Team Wingman is going to go leave their trailer with all of their recumbent bikes in it. And then, or their tandems, whichever one they're, and so, but there will be security and there will be like a barricaded area. Okay. So for the county grounds, they're just kind of the big overview. There we go. Sorry. This will be the finish line. We'll have the event area, and then the parking is back over here. And then I know that we will have some additional parking for like our team tent area. And there will be a parking pass for those individuals, and then your additional VIP parking. And so we are going to try to make this larger, but not too large. So we are still working on the final layout because we don't have as many team tents this year as we've had in the years past. So we're trying not to make it all secluded over here, but we're trying to spread it out and make it still look really good. So Kate is still working from PLI, is still working on what that is going to look like. But we do have, so the Team Valero's tent will be here at number 1, and then we will have the VIP area is right here. And so this area, of course, you know, for our Club 100, Club Ks, passport riders, I ride with MS. So we will still have the VIP area here. And then we have, let's see, this is where our team jersey contest is going to take place. And then we'll have the shuttle stop. So I know this is where the buses will be. And then I think normally in the mornings, they maybe will come in here. But we will still have the chute for the finish line. Then we have the hydration station, of course, here handy. And then the bike tech area that's over here. Of course, your good old porta potties, because you got to know where those are, right? We'll have the luggage will still be in the barn. I guess it's kind of like a barn, right? With all the picnic tables. So that's where we're still going to do the luggage. We do have the indoor facility, which is where the first aid medics will be. We will have the dining area that's back over in the same places where it's been in the past, as well as our catering tent. And number 22 is not listed on here. Maybe that's supposed to be 21. But that's a cooling station. So that's a good question. I need to ask what 22 is. And so we also, so here is where the bike compound will be. Of course, you'll have your general parking. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know volunteer check-ins normally around this area. We will still have our changing tents, and we will still have the shower truck that's going to be over here. So I know that's a lot, especially for those that are new. It looks big, but it's not too big, is my thoughts. But what,
Lindy, will you be sharing this presentation with us?
Yes, I'm gonna we're recording it, and so we'll share that. But I will also make sure that we send out, once I have a final version of the site map for the finish line. Once we have all the team tents in there, I can get this sent out to everybody as well.
Perfect, thank you.
You're more than welcome. Anything else? So as far as so we don't have a COVID testing area, but I'm still working on trying to figure out like what that protocol is going to be as far as like a health screening check-in point. Does that help answer your question? I think Diane
Yes, ma'am.
has. Okay, perfect.
Lindy, do you know if any RV sites are available?
I can find out. I know that the reservations had closed, but I think there might still be one. So I will reach out to Cade to find out. Cade, were you able to join the call by chance? I'm gonna go with no. Okay, so what? Todd, what is your last name? Okay, thank you. I will find out if we do have that available, and hopefully. Okay, is it possible to ride from the fairgrounds back to the mall on Sunday, or do you? I mean, if you want to ride back to the fairground, I'm assuming you're talking about on your bike. You're more than welcome to ride back, but that is at your own risk, as Stephen said. Okay, let's see. Well,
I have a quick
oh,
question.
yes.
Okay, so I know you mentioned packet pickup, so I'm coming in from the DFW area. And where was that again? Is that in New Braunfels or San Antonio?
So it will be, so Friday's packet pickup Friday's packet is going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn, which is where the host hotel is, and it will be from 4:30 to 7:30. If you are not able to make packet pickup by then, and you know ahead of time, as long as you've met your minimum, then we can also see about getting your packet mailed to you.
Okay. Yeah, I've got my minimum in. I just want to make sure I can get there on time. And what Hilton Garden? What city again is that in?
That's in, oh, sorry, it's in San Antonio.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Thanks. So do you also do the DFW or the Roundup ride by chance?
Yeah, I did. That was my first one. So I just
Okay.
did that.
So what we could possibly do for you, Josh, is Kathy Beatty is actually going to be in San Antonio tomorrow to help with our Thursday packet pickup. So I can see if she can bring it back to Dallas with her.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be super. It'd be easier for me to grab it ahead of time.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, because I'm camping in New Braunfels, and so I got to get there, set up my RV, et cetera, and
Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, no, not a problem. I will talk to Kathy about that and see about getting her to bring that back with her.
Sweet, thank you.
Okay, no, not a problem. So as of course, I think most people have seen the Top Fundraiser jersey, but in case you haven't, if you are able to see my screen, there is an amazing jersey. Steve and Eileen proudly wore it at TOC, and it's just beautiful. I just gotta say, it's bright and it stands out. And we are rising from the ashes from 2020, but also 21. It's been a crazy year. So with that, kind of some more information on packet pickups. If you are in the Houston area, we are having a packet pickup currently going on. It's the first one was today, and so they'll be there Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday also from 9 to 5. So during our normal work hours. And then and so now if you earned a jersey, they don't have the jerseys in-house. They only have the packets and the t-shirts, I believe. So, and I believe Fatima Peters has a question really quick.
Yes, and hi, I'm sorry. And it is about package pickup from Houston.
Yes.
So you just answered my question. Thank you.
Oh, well, great. Perfect. So we do also have a packet pickup this Thursday in San Antonio as well. That will be at the North Park Subaru from 5 to 7. Kathy Beatty and Leah Weatherall from our Dallas office are coming in to help lead that packet pickup. And then, of course, those that possibly know Debbie Marino does from our committee helps lead that up as well. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the last packet pickup is at the Hilton Garden Inn at the Rim, which is there in San Antonio. And all of this information is on the website. If you go to the website and click the button that says registration and go down to the very bottom, there will be a drop-down menu for the packet pickups. The information for the Hilton Garden should hopefully be updated in the next day or two, but it's not there. But any of the other information for packet pickups should be there. Just to kind of let you know what you're going to get, you'll get your bib number, your I Ride with bit and the one that goes onto your bike, a helmet number, a wristband. You'll also get your luggage tags. But to be able to pick up your packet, you will have to hit that 300 minimum, which I know a lot of y'all are possibly familiar with, but just in case you're not, to be able to get your packet, you will have to hit that minimum. So, and if you hit 1,000 by packet pickup, unless you're in Houston right now, you'll also earn your awesome jersey. So with that, are there any questions? Besides all the ones that are coming in, and hopefully Zoe's keeping up with that. Okay, Zoe, do you want to kind of Richard? Okay, I can. Yes, Zoe asked, are you picking up in Houston? Okay, so you're in San Antonio. You will be able to pick that up at Packet Pickup. And yes, Sophia, I agree. Kathy is the best. And she will be back for bike weekend as well. She's overseeing our expo on Friday night. So Zoe, are there any other questions that we missed or that you hadn't?
I think I answered everything. The only thing would be if you want to go over for any passport rider on the call, what perks there are for them to take part of this next weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, of course, I know we will have, so for our passport riders, we will have VIP parking that will be available. You will also get access to the VIP tent, which we hopefully have some cooling fans in. My screen over here just went black. I don't know what happened there. So I know we are working on getting some portable cooling fans to put in there. So there, some of the other different changes this year with COVID is for our VIP tent, I know we normally have 4 walls on the tent, and this year we have 1 wall. So we are still trying to make it where it's a very special area. And of course, I know there will possibly be some additional goodies. We're still trying to work on what some of those will be. And Tony, I'm glad you're getting excited. I am too. It's 1 week and 4 days, or at least that's what the website told me earlier today when I clicked it. Any other questions? Anything that we missed? Again, if you need, hi. Sophia's daughter's on the phone or on the camera. So if anybody does need a shuttle, please reach out to your team members or your friends, your family, and let them know. I mean, if you want to email Zoe as well, hopefully those emails showed up before my screen went black over here. And I can, but we can also, but it'll be in the email that I send out to everybody as well. But it's Lindy, LYNDEE .Klein, KLEIN, like Calvin Klein, at nms.org. And so anything with shuttles, if you will email me, I will make sure that you get onto the list. I will respond. It could be after hours, but I will respond because I'm trying to get through a handful of emails for everything, but I will make sure you get on that list. But Friday by noon is the absolute hard deadline. So, okay, well, if there is nothing else, I thank you all so much for your time tonight. If somebody does have a question, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Zoe. We're here to help. And probably even the Kramers, because they're awesome like that. Eileen's excited to help. Steven's questionable.
Yeah, we're the ones who didn't sign up for our shuttles. So yeah, call us.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. You're not the only one, so it's all good. But anyways, thank y'all so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in just about a week and a half, and we will see you soon. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.